folks, welcome back to College Hill Farm. Well, today I am going to do something. Now yesterday or the day before, I got out and mowed for about 6 hours. I've got a 9-acre homestead, y'all know that. I've got a 9-acre homestead, and I spend about 6 hours a week in this tractor seat mowing, either cutting hay or cutting grass or keeping the pathways clear. I've got areas that I've let grow up for wildlife, but I also mow a lot, or till or plow or whatever I'm doing. But I spend a lot of seat time in this tractor. Well, this Mahindra, this is really my only complaint with the tractor. This Mahindra, the way it sits, I'm so low down in the cab right here that I have to almost hold on right here to lift my leg up enough to put it on the clutch. There's just no room. I would like my seat to get me up 2 or 3 inches higher and maybe back an inch or two. But there's some problems with that. Let me show you. Okay, here's my current seat. Of course, it's about wore out. It was left out. The tractor was out in the rain till I started building my tractor shed. And it's just recently, this year, that it's got a house of its own. So, it has, this seat has done its duty. But now, one of the problems is, see, it's coming apart right there. See, that's coming off. But, and then right here where it plugs in, see, that's coming loose. And what I've got here, there's a bar right here that keeps the seat from going back any further. See, it hits right here. So what I'm afraid of is if I get a universal tractor seat, will it hit right there? And if it does, what can I do about that? I may just cut this out and lower the bar or raise it up, or I don't know what to do. But I did go to Tractor Supply and I looked at a universal tractor seat, and so let's get it out and see what we're looking at. Now I went to Tractor Supply and I looked at all the seats they had, and I would like something that gives me a little more back support. Okay, like I said, this is hurting my back. So this one gives you a little more back support, and you can also tilt it front to back by moving a bolt. So this is one of those things that if it'll fit, I'm worried that it won't fit on my compact tractor. This is called a universal tractor seat, but it might not fit on this compact tractor. So we're just going to delve into this and see what it is. It's not an unboxing video. I'm not going to go over what's in the box. I'm just going to get it out and we'll talk about it. Okay, there were absolutely no instructions in the box. So it came with this metal part that goes on the tractor. Then it came with the seat that goes here. It's a waffle seat. Goes there. And then the seat that goes on here. I'm betting that I should put this on before I do anything. So let's go get the other part off. Just so we're clear, I do not have any idea what I'm doing, okay? I have never done this before. I've never traded out a tractor seat. Our old International Harvester 140 had a fixed tractor seat with no bounce in it. So it was just there. It was like sitting on a board. But this is different. So first steps, get this tractor seat off. Of course, I've unplugged this. I'm assuming that I'll have to use this switch on the other seat, but I don't know yet. We'll have to see how that works out. So first off, I need to get this plate off, and it looks like it's held with 4, looks like 10mm bolts. So let's get those off. Maybe it's a 12. Yep, that's it. I don't know if I have to take these all the way out or not, but I'm going to. Now, I want to save these. Now, I bought these little metal parts containers some time ago. They're one of the best things I ever did to keep stuff so I don't lose it. Put it right there and keep taking these off. Now, it's got those. Let's see if that'll come up out of there. Oh, look at there. Well, should have untied that seat belt. Now my other seat doesn't come with a seat belt, so we'll just have to see how that plays out. Now, that universal seat, well, first off, I think I'll clear all this crap out of here. Make sure I'm not throwing a bolt or something away. As far as this switch goes, this is an interlock that keeps you from starting the tractor when you're sitting on the tractor. Now, I'm looking here, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts down here holding this plate down. I'm debating whether to take those bolts off or set the seat right on these. Okay, these move by pulling that up and pulling forward. But I think the more I look at this, I think I need to take this plate off too. Then I can take the other plate loose and mount it. Let's see what size both those are. Those look bigger. I'd say they're about a 14. Remember, it's Mahindra. It's all metric. Nope, probably a 13. I don't have a 13 in my box. And of course it won't fit, so I gotta go get a deep well. Alright, I'll come back to you. Well, about the way it works, I don't have a 12mm deep well. So, oh, that's not 12mm. Well, well. Might be 13 or 14. It sure helps to have a shop where all your wrenches are laid out in order. Is it 13? Nope. 14. Yep. bash my fingers. I know the handle's missing, but don't tell OSHA. There we go. That should lift off now. Might have to give it some gentle persuasion to lift off, but no. Just came right up. Okay. There we go. Let's get the other seat apart and put the base down. Now here's what this looks like under here. This is the bottom plate, the universal plate that's got all the universal mounting holes, see them? And then there's just one nut right there, one bolt right here that keeps that from coming out. It doesn't really hold anything, it just keeps this from coming out when you pull this lever up. Okay, so I'll get that bolt off and then take that out. Okay, I've got a solution. What I've got here is a piece of flat stock that I cut off of a piece of carryall so that I could mount a hitch. It was in the way of me mounting a hitch on a carryall, so I'm going to cut off two 10-inch pieces and drill holes in them to match this, and then I'll drill holes in here to match this plate, and I'll put this down, fasten it down, and then I'll have studs sticking up through this steel to fasten this plate to. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to go through all the steps in doing this. That would make the video too long. All I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off at 10 inches long. I'm going to drill two holes to match these two holes. And then I'm going to drill two holes to match two of the holes on the seat, bracket. So that's what we're doing. I'll get this done and then come back to you. I don't use my cutoff saw often, but when you need it, you need it. This is the handiest thing. It's as handy as a button on a shirt. Okay. I've cut my two pieces of steel, cut them to 10 inches long, so they'll go right there. But now I have to cut the holes to match the holes here and to match the studs on that side. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to use a pattern. Don't be dumb. 2 blocks of wood. Take this block of wood, put it right there, and go. Get it back where it was at. Let me hold it still. A nice pattern of where the holes need to go. Okay? Now over here, I've got holes. Well, these had bolts in them. And I may have to go buy a longer bolt. I don't know. I hope not. So now I'll put the bolts in them. And I'll label this one that I just did rear. Now I'll do this one. Well, yeah, there. Call it front. And now I have a pattern that I can go ahead and drill these holes and then just set it on here, line it up where I want it, and drill without causing me a whole bunch of problems about laying this out and measuring it 100% correct. Saves you so much time. Alright. Okay, I got them both cut. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I've got some 7/16 bolts. These may be too big. Okay, there. And then right here, I want these to be shorter. They just have to go through this thin plate here. Well, get in there. But what I don't know, I don't think these are long enough to go through and catch and fasten these down. And they're not. So I've got to have at least a ½ inch more of these. I don't have any metric nuts and bolts, so I'll have to go get those. But what about these studs? I was really worried that these studs might not have enough. Well, what did I do with the nuts that went on those studs? I got them in my pocket. I think that's one. I believe I can get away with that with the studs. $14mm. See, I keep all kinds of nuts and bolts. I guess it's time to go and get metrics. Oh. Now, that ought to be down there good and solid. Let's see if it matches up with the holes on this plate. Oh, I've got it backwards. Oh, yep. Shoot. That's the way it goes. What to do with the wrench now. Cross thread? No. These in here where they go, so that that's not moving around. They won't tighten down because they won't reach. They might go in one thread is all, but that'll still be enough for me to test my plate. Well, okay, I've probably got this backwards in some way. Out of there. Now, are those holes lined up? Okay, more work. I got 1/2 inch longer. I actually bought some longer ones too, but I didn't need those. I bought 1/2 inch longer, and they screwed in just fine, and they're going to hold that solid. But one thing I'm worried about is where these bolts are on this plate, where it's right here and everything rides on that edge. I bet these nuts will be in the way. So what I'm going to do to compensate for that is I'm going to take and put another nut, just one as a spacer in each one of these. Now I'll have to screw it in on these because that's the size of nut it is. And what will happen is those will act like a spacer. So now when I put this on, come on, get in there. I need to give it some. I'm gonna have to give it some slack. Wrong one. Wrong one. Well, I just had it in my hand. What did I do with it? Give these a little bit of slack. Made everything so tight fitting. I can tighten these down after. See, that allowed that to move just a little bit. Alright. Try it again. You know, I'm looking at this, and it looks like that goes that way. There we go. Now I'll get those tightened down. What do I do with my wrench again? Now, let's put some nuts on. I'm afraid that these might be so tall that they cause a problem, but there's only one way to find out. So, I didn't have no shorter. Oh, those are not metric. Okay. Okay, right here's the part I don't like. This is a safety. All it does is keep you from starting your tractor without sitting on the seat. Okay? That's all it does. So, I'm going to bypass it. There's no thing on this universal seat for it. I'll just have to remind everybody, don't start the tractor unless you're in the seat. It's very dangerous to start a tractor. For example, I could be standing right here and reach over there to start that tractor with the key, and what's going to happen? It's going to roll over me. Okay? A lot of people have died from that. That's why they put those interlocks in. But there's nothing on this seat that would allow me to do that. But I'm not going to do away with the cable. I'm going to leave it here in case I can figure out something that I can do to put that interlock back in. So I'll take these and strip them back. Just twist them together and put this on it. What that'll do is it will keep it from shorting out or anything. Okay? But the wire's just right there, and it shouldn't be in the way. So now, let's put the seat on. But now I don't want to try and put the seat on because I don't know how much room it's going to take up here, and it might hit the steering wheel. So I'm going to leave the seat off and just put the mechanism on. Oh, have I got this backwards? No, it can't be backwards because it has to be on that side. But the question is, does it have to mount from the back? Wouldn't that be something? Alright, I'm going to come around to the other side where I got a little better leverage. That's what I was afraid of. Okay. These are too tall. They got to be cut off. So I'll get a grinder and cut these off flush with that. Then we'll go from there. Okay, I was going to cut these off, but I was afraid that that was going to cause me more problems. So what I did was I took the bolts out and added another big nut under there, so that there's two nuts under each one of these. That held it up off the floor. It's good and solid. So that's that just made sense to me. Rather than cutting these off, now they're below the level of this. So let's see if we can get that slid on there. You can do it. There we go. Maybe this bolt right here. Let me back it out all the way. There we go. Looks like that's all I'm going to get. But put this bolt back in there. The bolt's what had me hung. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these out. These are just bolts with nylon lock washers. And I think what I'm going to do, let me get the other one out. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean that back as far as I can to put the seat on and then go from there. So let's get the seat on now. Now I'll start with this seat. You reckon it goes this way or does it go the other way? That goes that way. Well, looks like it goes this way. So that's what I'm going to do. Where's the nuts? Oh. These are hard to get to. Now I can't get it off. Okay, there it is. I got the back on. I got the other on. Now what I'm going to do is I want to put these bolts in. And I want them to where this is leaned back a little bit, maybe like that. Okay, the whole object here is to get me farther back from the pedals. And I think that'll do that. That might be too much. What about right there? I think I'll try it right there and then go from there. Let me screw these on. I'm just going to finger tighten them now till I do the test. Okay, I'm going to get my tools out of the way. Let's see how it is. Oh! Nope, it's going to have to be leaned back. Yeah, that's worse than the other seat. So, yeah. Okay. These little nylon lock washers, you got to get them in the right direction or else they don't want to come loose. Let's see if that helped. Oh yeah, that's going to make a huge difference. I'm up off the wheel some, but my feet are back up off the brakes. Now, let's see if it'll start okay, since I've got rid of the safety interlock. Come on, out of there. Oh. Oh, my turn signal's on. Okay, it took me, I started at 7 this morning, so counting making the plates and everything, it took me right at 4.5 hours to install this seat. If I hadn't had to do all the modifications, it wouldn't have taken that long. Now, as far as it being leaned back a little bit, that actually feels better on my back. It's got my feet farther away from the pedals. Before, the pedals were so close on this tractor that it hurts my legs and back to keep my foot raised up there. So this looks like it's going to satisfy that part of it. Maybe when I'm raking hay, this might be in the way, but this is not in the way raking hay. So there is that. I don't like that I had to bypass the interlock, and I may have to come up with something for that. But for right now, it'll just have to be okay. Now, if you like this stuff, this homesteading, do-it-yourself kind of thing, be certain to come on out to the channel and subscribe. We do this homestead stuff every week, sometimes 1, sometimes 5 videos. Just depends on what's going on in the homestead that week. Now, if you hit the little bell when you come to the channel, it'll notify you when we upload a video. We upload on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Now, with that being said, it's time for me to get on to the next thing, and it's getting ready to come a storm. Get this tractor under the shed. Love y'all.